What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JP, back again with another video. And today, man, whew, look at all this. This is the Black Shark 4. And there is a lot to talk about. I mean, just look at this package I got. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, first of all, this is one of the only Xiaomi phones that you can actually get in the US. That's a big deal. Now, I'm going to have to there's buts in there. There's that's not I'm just going to have to go over it, I guess. Last year, I remember seeing a video by Flossie talking about the Black Shark 3. And he linked a global website where you could get it from. And it was a Xiaomi ran website that shipped to the United States. And ordering it was no different than ordering, the Red Magic gaming phones that a lot of y'all know I like. It's no different. They're shipped from the same exact place in Hong Kong. Every Red Magic phone I've had from ZTE Nubia, came from the same place. My first one was the Red Magic 3, then the 3S, then the 5G, the 5S, and then of course I just posted a video for the 6 a few weeks ago. And this came from the same warehouse as the Red Magics. The big difference that kind of gives it away that it's not necessarily made for the U.S. particularly. If I said that right there, sorry, y'all, got tongue-tied there. When you order the Red Magics and you're having it shipped to the U.S., it comes with the U.S. plug. This phone, it still came with the EU plug. This is actually the EU package. I can also tell by the listed and advertised frequencies for, LTE and 5G, which I'll get to here momentarily as well. But they also added now let me backtrack here for a minute here. This charger, this is the 67 watt. This phone is actually capable of 120 watts and can get to 0 to 100 in 17 minutes. But the phone comes with the 67 watt. Now I know what a lot of y'all are gonna say. If you advertise 120, why not include 120? But they still gave you the 67. I remember getting the Mi 11 at the beginning of the year, and I got the 55 watt charger with it, and I was blown away at the speed of how fast it charged. This may not have came with the top spec charger that the phone is capable of, but 67 watts, that's faster than the 55 watts that was not only advertised but also came with the Mi 11. And I know how that sounds. It was advertised and it came with it, but I was blown away out of that 55 watts back in early January. 67 watts? I mean, man, come on now. I mean, I'm not even mad. I would probably only buy the 120 watt charger just to review it, just to see if it really does, do 0 to 100 in 17 minutes. I think a minute ago I might have said seconds, I think, but minutes. If I did, if I did say that, let me correct myself. I would just want to see if it did it in 17 minutes. But there's already videos out that prove that it's not right at 17 minutes. It's closer to 18 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 19 or something like that. I forgot exactly what the videos it said exactly, but I've already watched videos of the timing and stuff like that, so I don't have to buy it to see whether or not it does it. 67 watts is amazing. Just getting that out of the box. Because the Red Magic, you didn't even get the top spec charger with those. So it's not uncommon to not get the top spec charger. especially with these phones that are capable of, 55 watts and above, so it's no big deal. Now, what they did oddly enough was instead of including the little adapters, the little converters that that you put on the plug to make it fit the US plugs, they ended up sending me a separate 22.5 watt US charger, and this is compatible with this is a PD charger and adaptive quick chargers, an adaptive quick charger as well. And it's a quick charge 3.0 capable. Um, I I think I don't think it's power delivery PD because the plug would actually be Type C if I'm not mistaken. But y'all correct me in the comments there. I thought somewhere I saw where it said PD power delivery, but no, I probably didn't see PD 2.0. I was thinking of that, I guess, when I saw the quick charge 3.0 there. But 22.5, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, it was a couple years ago, but it was free. It was unexpected. It's a US plug. Hey, I'll take it. Now, speaking about all of the other goodies that the phone came with, I was one of the 100. I was one of the first 100 people to order the phone, and the first 100 people got the phone case, which I'll get to in a minute, and I was actually supposed to get the phone cooler. But there, or the Fun Cooler 2, I think it was called. Like their second, their second generation of just the basic, clip-on cooler. And instead, they actually ran out of the Fun Coolers, and so they actually sent me the more expensive, as they call it, gaming cooler. And this is like the more expensive one. I think it is, anyways. They sent me an email and said, "Hey, we're sending you the bigger one, the better one instead of the freebie that was advertised because we ran out." Of course, they only gave it out to the first 100 people that ordered, So I forgot what day of the week that even was. It was April 30th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It was April 30th or 29th, something like that. But I just got it in today. I was actually supposed to get it Friday, but for whatever reason, FedEx got held up, and it was held up in Fort Worth for like 2 days. And by the time it made it in town on Saturday, I obviously couldn't get it until Monday. But I have I was excited to get what was supposed to be the better cooler. I haven't quite tested it out yet. As far as the case, the phone already comes with its own case right here, a little plastic hard shell. I really don't like it. I prefer the TPUs. Y'all know me. You get your stickers there, your reading material, and this is where your little SIM ejector tool is there. Your box, obviously. But this case is actually pretty cool. This is the fun case, they call it. This is pretty cool. It's another hard case. Again, I'm not crazy about the material, and it covers it up more. It doesn't quite show off the holographic back of the phone that I like so much here. I mean, I absolutely love that design. That is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This right here will show it off a little bit better than that will. But what's really unique about this case, it's a tad bit grippier. But you notice how right here in the middle, it says a cooling area. This little area right here had a thing on it, to remove, before placing your phone in it. And this little thing right here, it's cool to the touch. It's really kind of nifty. It's cool to the touch. So it really is kind of like a cooling plate. And the fan has the same little thing right here. This whole plate right here is like y'all excuse the fingernails, by the way, there, I'm sorry. But, if y'all watched my previous videos, y'all know that's my bad habit. They grow so fast. But, believe it or not, doctors say it's because I'm a non-smoker. That's what they've always told me anyways. But, this is also cool to the touch. I mean, it's really cool. And this does have its own power source there. But now that we got all that out of the way, I think let's jump to the phone itself here. It has your arc fingerprint sensor. Has your keys for the has your pop-ups for the triggers. Your USB Type C, stereo speakers. You can see right there, and that was my fingerprint. I was holding the arc fingerprint sensor, and it unlocked immediately. It's that fast. I didn't even mean to do that. But you got your volume rocker right here on the separate side, and your SIM tray. There is no expandable memory. It has 128 gigs internal, and this is the 8 GB model. But it was only $500 on the global website, shipped to the U.S. Um, let's see here. And again, that's your arc there, and it's really fast. It's super fast. It does have facial recognition as well. I haven't set it up yet, but it shipped because the phone, when I ordered it in April, it was actually a pre-order. Um, it didn't actually. It didn't actually uh, go. It didn't actually. Ooh, I'm trying to get my words straight here. Today's the 17th. I got it today. Again, I was supposed to get it on Friday, and that was, let's see, the 14th. Um, it shipped out on that Tuesday, I think, of last week. Last Tuesday, I think, because it was that Thursday before when it was actually released, and it wasn't just a pre-order any longer. So it was, even if I would have gotten it Friday, it wasn't quite as fast as I typically get my Red Magic phones that come from that same factory again, that same location, at the same address, or whatever you want to call it. Um, the shipping could have been a little bit quicker, but they also don't. They also didn't give me the option for priority like Red Magic did. Um, it was just free shipping, and it said it would take like 4 to 20 days or something like that. But I mean, it shipped out on that Monday or that Tuesday. So actually, it wasn't even the shipping that was held up. It was the time that it took them to ship. If it was released last Thursday, not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before, then it should have shipped out that same day, or at least Friday. But it didn't ship out until Monday or Tuesday, and I was supposed to get it Friday, so that's not too bad. Because the holdup at FedEx wasn't Black Shark or Xiaomi's fault, however you want to say it. It was a FedEx issue. Um, but the Black Shark 3 and the Black Shark 4 here, these are these are like the only Xiaomi phones that you can legit order from a a Xiaomi ran website, and actually have it shipped to the US. uh you know it's I was interested in the pre-order, when I jumped on it, and because it said that it was available for the U.S., and I was like, holy cow, this is the first Xiaomi phone, that I can actually buy in the U.S., and I don't have to. I mean, it is technically, it's technically coming from overseas still, but you're not actually like importing it. You're not paying all these import fees. You're not having to go to an eBay seller and pay $30 more, $50 more, $100 more to get it, imported. You're not paying those fees. It's as if it's shipped from the U.S. Because actually, I think the shipping did cost me like $7, I think, because there was no tax. So, and I think I paid $5.07. So it was $8 because the phone was actually $4.99. And that's a great price too, because other markets sell this phone with as low as 6 gigs of RAM. This is the 8 gig for $500. So technically, the starting price for this phone is less than $500. So that's a great deal. This phone has a 20 megapixel front facing camera. It is that small punch hole that a lot of Xiaomi phones have been coming out with this year. The overall design of the phone, minus the rear camera placement, is it's just like most of Xiaomi's flagship series phones they've released this year. The Redmi K40 series, the Mi 11 series, and also the Pogo F3. Not the X3 Pro, because the X3 Pro actually has the X3 NFC's design from last year. But this has the ultra small punch hole at the top that doesn't really interrupt anything, man. Once you start watching videos and playing games, you don't even notice it's there. You don't even notice it's there. It's so small. So it's rocking the Samsung E4 Super AMOLED panel that's capable of 1300 nits of brightness. It's a 1080p Full HD plus. It's a 20:9 aspect ratio. It has that ARC fingerprint sensor that I've raved about in other videos about the about a lot of the other Xiaomi phones. It's actually not quite as smooth as the other ones. I've noticed it's not quite. It's kind of like an in between the Pogo X3 Pro and then all of the other Xiaomi phones that have that advertised ARC fingerprint sensor. The Pogo F3 has that ARC fingerprint sensor. The Redmi Note 10 Pro that I reviewed had it. The Mi 11 had it. This I think it did. That was the first phone that kind of introduced this design, but I don't remember them actually going all in and advertise. Oh well, wait, no, of course it didn't. It had an in-display fingerprint sensor. Duh. It's the flagship. I just thought of that. But the Pogo F3 has the ARC fingerprint sensor. The Redmi Note 10 series has it, except no, actually not. I'm pretty sure they all do. I was gonna say except the Note 10 5G, but that actually got excluded from the AMOLED party. It has an LCD, but I think it still has the ARC fingerprint sensor. But and of course the X3 Pro does not, because the Pogo, because it's based on the X3 NFC with a better processor. But you get the idea here. You get where I'm going at with this. I tend to ramble here. But it has a 4,500 milliamp battery. Again, it's capable of 120 watts. Comes with 67 in the box. That's still astronomical. The rear camera setup, again, its placement is completely different from the rest of the Xiaomi phones. But you are getting a 48 megapixel main, a 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro. With the dual LED flash there. The triggers, which is like the big talking point of this phone here. You heard that there. Let me zoom in. I don't know why it's not focusing there, but let's see if we can get a better shot here. See, oh yeah, and it's cool. It's real cool. You can set these up as shortcuts for other tasks. What am I doing wrong here? There you go. Yeah. And they're mechanical. I mean, and these are real buttons. See here? And they already have them set, preloaded to some tasks there. That top one is set up for screenshot, and the bottom one's set up to put it in one-handed mode. But you can change that. That's just the default. I actually have it set up in Genshin Impact, where the right trigger swings the sword, or your weapon, whatever weapon you have, and then I had the left one set up for their other attack. That takes time. You have to wait so many seconds to use it again. I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about, and it's definitely better than touch controls, and it's amazing. This does not have the highest refresh rate that the Red Magic 6 introduced, 165 hertz, or 160. Man, come on, Justin. I'm sorry, y'all. It doesn't have the 165 hertz refresh rate that as of right now only the Red Magic 6 has introduced and is capable of. But the Black Shark 4 here is capable of 144 hertz refresh, which is still even with somebody else coming out with 165 hertz 144, was still just came out this time last year, and that is still a big deal a year later. Because no one else is doing 165 yet. The Asus isn't with the ROG Phone 5. It's 144. And of course the uh, the thing too is the AMOLED panel on this is a little bit better quality than the Red Magic 6. I could tell that the Red Magic 6's screen is not an E4. It may be a Samsung, but it's not an E4 Samsung AMOLED. But it's still a gorgeous screen. I'm not knocking it by any means. But this is the E4 and it has 144 hertz. Now this actually does have it beat with having the highest touch sampling rate. This phone has the highest touch sampling rate than any other phone. I think it's oh shoot, y'all don't even get me lying. I that was one thing I had memorized, but it's higher than the Red Magic 6, which was at the time the highest. And this has it beat with the touch sampling rate. And that's amazing. So it does have bragging rights. It does have bragging rights as having that both single touch and multi touch. It's the fastest touch sampling rate. So your touchscreen on this is just ultra responsive. Let's see. It has a Snapdragon 870, not the 888. But you know what? As I've already said in previous videos, when it comes to gaming, which is what these phones aim for, you are not going to notice anything that the 888 can do that the 870 can't. This has the Adreno 650 versus the Adreno 660 of the 888. But this is also clocked at 3.2 gigs versus the 2.8 gigs of the 888. So that may not mean much, but for what that's worth, that I think not all the way, it doesn't all the way make up the difference, because this is this features Cortex A77 processor, processors, 4 of them, whereas the four of the 8 cores on this are Cortex A77s, whereas on the 888, 3 of the 8 are Cortex A78s, and then that one is the all-new Cortex X1. So, there is much newer technology in the 888, but the 870 is still flagship specs. This is 2021 flagship specs still. Flossie says the same thing. Y'all know I like referencing him a lot. He says the same thing. Anytime he reviews a Snapdragon 870 powered phone, he calls it out just like he does when he's reviewing an 888 powered Snapdragon phone. He says flagship specs, and that's current. This does have UFS 3.1 for the file system. It is DDR5, for the RAM. It's this phone has been great. I have to say, this is my new favorite gaming phone. This is my new favorite. I've always loved the Red Magics. The Red Magics have always been my favorite. I've had Black Sharks before. I had the Black Shark 3 last year, and I also had the Black Shark 2 the year before. And those were just like any of the other gaming phones, like the Red Magics and the ROG phones, and the Razer phones. They all, they have that gamer aesthetic where they don't look like the other phones. It has an older design, with the bezel, so your palms have a place to rest. They're there for a reason. The ROG Phone 5 and the Red Magic 6 did introduce much thinner bezels. They did have, a more modern look without actually going all in on the modern look, because there's still bezels. There's still, the front facing camera isn't a punch hole in the screen still. It's still, on the phone's body, on the top bezel off to the side there, by the earpiece. They've just managed to make those bezels thinner and thinner, especially on the sides. But the Black Shark 4 here, went with a more minimalistic, modern look. It looks just like any other phone, especially your Xiaomi phones. It has it's a 6.67 inches on the screen. Of course, the other gaming phones have increased their screen sizes too, which is why they thinned out the bezels more, because the real estate of the phones are the same as they were last year, even though they have bigger screens this year. Because I think those have 6.7 and 6.8. From the ROG Phone 5 and the Red Magic 6 respectively. This has almost a 6.7-inch screen, but it has the punch hole, and it's the ultra small punch hole. That's something that you're not even gonna get with the K40 Gaming Edition. And yes, before anybody says anything, your boy has that already too, and that's coming. That's coming very soon as well. That's the box to it there. I don't even, where did I put the phone at here? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Wait. Yeah, yep. That is. There we go. Yeah, I gotta show y'all that right there. It has the case on it right now, but yeah. We're gonna get to this here pretty soon. That's the K40 Gaming Edition. And I'll probably even do my first comparison video as well. But let's I cause see me, I love gaming phones, but I also love these designs, these modern designs with the almost completely bezel-less, the 90% screen to body ratio. Because I love the big screens, but the small real estate to where it just feels better in my pocket, especially when I go out and run. And the gaming phones are so heavy. And this is heavy too. It's thick. It's definitely thick. But and it still keeps your gamer aesthetics. This is something right here, that holographic right there. Yeah, it doesn't have your RGB lights, but everyone's kind of toned down the RGB lighting anyways. The ROG Phone 5 has less RGBs than the previous models. The Red Magic 6 has less RGB lighting than its predecessors. So everyone's kind of backtracking on that anyways. Kind of like how Samsung's backtracking on the curved displays. It's kind of like going back out of, it's kind of like going out of style. This holographic design right here, I think, makes up for the RGB lighting, because this is still, very gamery looked, if I could say that. It's a very, gamer aesthetic. It's something that you're not going to, that you don't really expect to see that on a regular phone. It gives it that gaming feel. And I just like this. I feel like with this phone, I have the best of both worlds. I still feel like it's a gaming phone. The triggers, the fast charging, the big battery, and yeah, I know there's other phones that have a 4,500 milliamp battery, but most of them on average are 4,000. So take that for what you will. Yeah, it doesn't have a headphone jack, surprisingly. Oh, wait. Yeah, it does. Okay, I'm lying, y'all. I think it's actually the K40 Gaming Edition that I just teased with y'all. I think that one doesn't have the headphone jack. But yeah, I mean, this phone, it feels like a gaming phone, and it still but it also feels like a modern phone. Like it has all of your gaming aesthetics there. Speaking of which, it does have the Joy UI 12.5, which is basically just Black Shark's version of MIUI 12.5. And MIUI 12.5 is a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm going to go over more of that with the K40 Gaming Edition, because the K40 Gaming Edition actually features more of what MIUI 12.5 actually features. There is a few differences I've noticed with Joy UI 12.5 as opposed to MIUI 12.5, and I'll kind of touch over that with that when I do my overview on that other phone. As far as the frequencies, let's talk about the frequencies really quick, because I know y'all are getting tired of me talking here, and we're going overtime here. This has the EU bands that it shows you on the website that your eBay sellers are selling, that are shipping them from the US, that come with the EU plug, and they send you the little adapter, and I have a ton of those adapters, so they didn't even have to send me this, because I have an adapter for that anyways, which, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure they didn't do that to to make up for that either now. Because 22.5 watts doesn't compare to 67 watts. This was just a freebie. It's a travel charger, and I'm grateful for it because I mean 12, 22.5 watts. That's still pretty quick. Your Samsung mid rangers that advertise quick charge. This is where they max out at. Not even. So I mean, I'm definitely gonna put that to use. I mean, I definitely got a place for that. But um, but so when you go on their website and you look at the frequencies, there you'll notice that on the LTE frequencies it's missing band 12 and 17, which are the same band, but 17 is for AT&T and 12 is for T-Mobile. And then if you look on the 5G bands, it's missing band 5 for AT&T, N5. But just as I suspected, this does have band 12 and 17. I know that because I got band 17 on AT&T, which means it has band 12 for T-Mobile. I get 5G with it on AT&T, so it has band N5, obviously. It does have band 66. It may have band 71 because I am starting to see a lot of phones now that are coming with band 71, even though they don't advertise it. So, but take that with a grain of salt. But it does have band 66. I'm not 100% on that either, but I'm more solid on that than I am on 71. But it does have 12 and 17 for LTE. 2, 5, 2, 4, 5, etc. It does have band 40 in 41 for T-Mobile's mid band. I think it has the proper frequencies as well for their low band. 66 and 71 for 5G. I mean, because those are separate, N66 and N71. But it does work on AT&T 5G. And and another thing too. What I like about the Red Magic phones is that they really do feel like they were made for the US when you order a US model, because they also have VoLTE, voice over LTE. A lot of carriers like T-Mobile and AT&T especially, they're going to be shutting down 3G pretty soon. And you're going to have a VoLTE phone, a VoLTE capable phone at some point. Now, Xiaomi's phones, any flagship, is capable of VoLTE, but it has to also be programmed for your carrier here in the here in the US, T-Mobile or AT&T, for example, or mainly I should say, because these foreign phones typically don't work on Verizon or Sprint anyways, if I can even say Sprint anymore. But you get where I'm going at. But and I haven't noticed any Xiaomi phones that get VoLTE in the US. I'll get 5G, I'll get LTE, and I know they're VoLTE capable in the countries that they come from, but they don't work on VoLTE here in the US. The Red Magics, they do. It pops up, like when I first got my Red Magic 6 and I put my SIM card in there, 5G popped up and so did VoLTE. Much to my surprise, I slipped my SIM card right here in the Black Shark 4. 5G popped up and so did VoLTE. I was very excited to see that. Very excited to see that. It just makes me feel like even more so that it's a Xiaomi phone that was actually made for the US market. So very excited, because those of you that know me, y'all know I'm a big Xiaomi fan. It's my favorite brand. So just to be able to actually, and I mean, I got so many of them. I don't have a problem getting any of them, but just the fact that I'm able to actually get one from an official Xiaomi website, shipped to the US, and I don't have to pay extra, no seller convenience fees, import fees, etc. I mean, man, I just, and 500 is a fantastic deal. Fantastic deal. You can't beat this. You can't beat this. I think this is the greatest deal right now on smartphones. Because you don't even have to be a gaming phone. You don't even have to want a gaming phone to get this phone. This phone has a very modern design. It's just, it looks like a gaming phone and then it doesn't look like a gaming phone. So very impressed with this phone right here so far. Can't wait to put it through its paces. I'm gonna compare it to the K40 Gaming Edition. I'm gonna do my overview on that pretty soon as well, so y'all be on the lookout. It's gonna be in a couple days. But anyways, sorry for dragging this out, y'all. I just got so many goodies with this phone here. Just a lot to talk about here. A lot to talk about. And I know that I don't go over enough things and I do more talking than anything, But it's just I'm not even gonna try there. Anyways, y'all been looking for my next videos, and I will see y'all then. Peace out.